Hey everyone, in this video we're tackling exercise 141 of chapter 32. This is on page 227 of Shelmerdine's text. So, leses ten metera ekbainon ektes oikias. So question mark first of all, but not a leading question. We don't have ara u or ara me at the beginning. So we just have our verb, leses. So this is a new verb to us. You shouldn't necessarily be familiar with the principal part yet, but this is coming from lanthano, to escape the notice of. You remember that. So will you escape the notice of? Will you, because it's a question, will you escape the notice of, and then this is going to take an accusative object, mother, ekbainon. So again, we get our participial ending, masculine, singular, nominative, and that's referring back to the subject of leses, whoever this is, the second person subject. So in escaping, sorry, it's not escaping, in going out, in leaving, ekbaino, from the house. So will you be able to sneak out unnoticed by mom? That's the question really here. Will you escape the notice of mother in leaving the house? When you're leaving the house, will you escape the notice of mother? Will mom not see you as you leave? That's exactly what this question is. Number 4 then. E horetor tunkanoi legon tois politais hedeos an menoimen. So if we have that situation, and now let's look at our verbs, tunkanoi, menoimen, on over here. So we've got a optative in the protasis, or protasis. In the apodosis, we also have an optative plus on. This is what kind of condition? This is future less vivid. And we're going to want to translate it would, should. So if the speaker would happen to be speaking to, I guess that's a way to do it. Instead of speaker, let's say orator here. So if the orator would happen to be speaking to the citizens, comma, that's where we are here, sweetly or with pleasure, we would, or I guess should at this point. I always feel like those woulds and shoulds can basically be interchanged. We should stay, remain. So apparently we, here in the plural, are the citizens, or at least some of the citizens. So if the orator would happen to be speaking to the citizens, with pleasure we would stay. We'd stay happily. But since we don't know, or it doesn't seem likely, because it's a future less vivid condition, that the orator is actually going to be speaking to us, we got other things to do. It's a Friday night, right? That's the idea behind this sentence. So we have a future less vivid condition. We know that because of the two optative mood verbs. We've got an on in the apodosis, the main clause. And then note that legon can take a direct or kind of indirect object. I'm not sure if we've seen that before, but again, the own, masculine, singular, nominative participle, referring back to the subject of tunkanoi, horetor. Number 7, hopoetes ephase bas este ten komen. All right, so the poet. I really need a new handset so I can write more legibly. The poet. And what does phano mean? Again, this is to anticipate. So anticipates an accusative direct object in going, walking. This is the participle, the aorist participial form of what verb? Hopefully you know, bino, in going into the village, the komen. All right, so that's good. A couple things that we can now try to, this was our test run. We'll now see how we can formulate a better sentence. Anticipates something, but we had no accusative direct object. So because this is gone, we're going to say is first. Anticipates. But note what I was also doing wrong here. This wasn't a present tense. We had an augment, we had an aorist ending, and note that we also had an aorist participle here. What we're dealing with is past tense, past time, aorist, simple, and then also a aorist participle here, so simple aspect. So now we can reformulate, make this the sentence that it should have been all along. So the poet was first to walk or to go into the village. Or maybe the poet went into the village first of all. We could do that too, but was first, anticipated, phano. Good. Last but not least, number 10. Angelostis in tukane echon paidas men polus philus doligus. So angelostis, what's this tis doing? Remember that that's the indefinite adjective here. So we're saying some messenger. Some messenger happened to have many children, but, and note that the men here is untranslatable, but we knew that was setting up a contrast. Many children on the one hand, but on the other hand, few friends. So what did we have here? We had our verb tunkano, to chance, to happen. And this is going to take a supplementary participle, ekon, as so often in this lesson, masculine singular nominative, referring back to the subject of the sentence, that certain messenger. And then everything else kind of followed suit. Happened to have many children, but few friends. Maybe that was just fortunate. Maybe that's just the circumstance he found himself in. That's what tukano means. It's not saying that by fate it was this way. We're just kind of saying, well, it happened. This is nice when you're telling a story because you're introducing some messenger. Well, I mean, you could really see this being the beginning of a Greek joke, right? Some messenger happened to have many children but few friends, and then you go on to explain why in the joke. Something like that. So happen to have. We're doing a good job of exposition in this sentence. So hopefully that was fun. We did 5 examples there from exercise 141. See you in the next lesson where we'll tackle a similar number from exercise 142. See you then.